Back-to-back carries. He's off to the races
Mike.
again. Can he repeat?
Rose fumbles it, and Baltimore's going to run this back. You cannot be serious.
Going to take another deep shot. Diving catch, Mason Kirby. What? That's deflected away.
Oh! Hey! What a catch!
More stepping back, and he's nearly broke down, but it's intercepted. The run for the first down away.
Vincent is on his way.
Oh my goodness, it's an embarrassment of riches.
Makes more, and he is to the house. An unreal play.
You're gonna get some look at the
Oh, he got it.
Baltimore walks it off.
It's week 4 in the Simulation Football League, and this is Sim Football Pregame along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. Mike, how are you enjoying your bye week on the field?
Cam, I'm enjoying it, man. It's good to have my Sim avatar taking a break this week, and all I can do now is just enjoy some great SFL action from other teams around the league. We've
got another doubleheader for you here in week number 4, and today it looks like this. Rivalry that I don't think Fort Worth and Buffalo really share a rivalry in any other sport, Mike, but here in the SFL, it means something. Fort Worth and Queen City get back together again. 4th consecutive season they have met as Fort Worth travels to Queen City. Florida and LA later. Mexico City and DC is part of our bonus coverage here in the opening block. That should be a great game. Mike, break it down for everybody.
Yeah, Cam, Fort Worth and Queen City, as you mentioned, Queen City, that's in Buffalo, New York, and the reason why that is a rivalry is because there's several members of that Fort Worth lineup that are former Queen City Corsairs. They have a large history there with that team. Jeff Duffy, the former defensive player of the year on that defensive line for Fort Worth, he accomplished that feat over there in Queen City, 7 seasons over there. He's in his 2nd season now with the Toros. And Cam, these two teams are kind of having a rocky start to the start of the season. Fort Worth loses 3 in a row, coming off a huge loss last week to the defending champion Baltimore Vultures. And Queen City, loses 2 of their first 3, and they're coming off a big loss to Houston last weekend, 47-34, Cam, and it wasn't even that close. But both of these teams, they have weapons of their own. Johnny Reno, the rookie quarterback from Fort Worth, he's off to a great start, 7 touchdowns with almost a 70% completion rate, and he's 3rd in the league in QBR with a 104.4. So these teams have some bright spots, but they're looking. Somebody's going to get their season back on track here today.
Yeah, some people might say, what's the big deal about a game between 2 teams under 500? Well, these 2 teams have very high expectations. Johnny Reno is a very excitable quarterback. Queen City was a playoff team last season and off to a bit of a slow start. This is a huge game for both teams. Tyler Falk and Jack Brown have the call from chilly Buffalo when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Kickoff is next.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
This is the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on Next Level Sports. Above the original USS Little Rock, on the shores of Lake Erie, we find Buffalo, New York, home of the Queen City Corsairs. The black and green look to right the ship after taking their second loss of the season. They take on Fort Worth, who will be looking to dig themselves out of their 0-3 start. Hello and welcome to a frigid Con-Pro field. I'm Tyler Paul. Game time temp is hovering right around 16 degrees Fahrenheit. It's also been a cold start to the season for both clubs. They'll be looking to make amends here this afternoon. Jack Brown joins me here in the booth, and Jack, even though these clubs have only met on 3 occasions, they do have a little bit of history between them.
Well, Tyler, they may have only met on the field 3 times, but their history dates long before that. 2 of Fort Worth's 3 owners both originated from the Queen City front office. Fort Worth, a direct descendant of Queen City. It's like a father-son rivalry they have between these 2 ball clubs, Tyler.
And not only that, Jack, the first time these 2 teams played, Fort Worth got their first franchise victory versus Queen City. We want to remind you the aerial coverage of today's game is brought to you by Dag's Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services in New York State. Find them on Instagram at Dag's Drone Works or visit their website at dagsdroneworks.com. Queen City in all black and green trim, with Fort Worth being in all gold. As we are just about ready for kickoff. Fans on Con-Pro Field all bundled up and we're ready to go. Fort Worth will kick it off to the hometown Corsairs. And here we go. We have kickoff in upstate New York. Christopher Ochoa is on the return, is looking for a couple of blocks, is eventually taken down near the 25-yard line, and on comes 11-season veteran AJ Caswell, and this might be an historic day for the Queen City quarterback.
Yes, it is, Tyler. As you were saying before in the pregame, he just needs 2 touchdowns, and he's tied up with Mike Dazzo. Another one, he moves up into 6th all-time. If he has a big day, it could be absolutely historic for this Queen City team.
Caswell will start the game with a throw under pressure, and the ball falls out of his hands, incomplete. Coming off the edge was Jeff Duffy to try and bring him down, and we'll introduce you to the Queen City Corsair offensive lineup. AJ Caswell, the starting quarterback. Jet Zero, the halfback, with Chris Comasack, the fullback. Doug Spelling, Deezer Powell, and Christopher Ochoa are the wideouts. Hubba Kimbrell, James Matthew Jr., the tight ends, and leading the men in the trenches, Robert Crone, Odette Boudreau, and Butch Menner. 3 wide receivers set, 2 backs in the backfield behind Caswell. Caswell to throw, 2-step drop, out route near side is caught by Ochoa, and Ochoa is going to pick up 7 yards before he's run out of bounds. 3rd down.
Not a bad start here from Queen City, able to make up the lost yardage, which is a simple out route. Those are the sorts of plays you typically see on these second long situations, and it sets up a nice 3rd and 3.
3rd and short here now for Queen City. Be a handoff for Jet Zero. Here's his first touch of the ball game, and he struggles out of a tackle and picks up the first down all the way down to his 41-yard line, and Queen City moved the chains here early.
Jet Zero, he's a very effective back, usually runs between the tackles, but that time they're able to get him a little bit more to the outside. Nice play calling from Queen City, changing it up, and they're moving the ball at will.
Good start to this first possession of the ball game for the Corsairs. Shotgun set, Caswell in the backfield, Jet Zero to his left. Back to pass, looks for an out route this time in the left direction. Deezer Powell picks it up, another 7-yard pickup, and here come the Toros defensive starters. Jeff Duffy, Joey Schwitt, Jerry D. Gond, and Jabril Curse are the defensive linemen. J.L. Browning, E.K. Vincent, and Golden Dino, the linebackers. Adam Leach, Aiden Davis, and Nacho Sicario are the corners, with Blake Prime, Frank Bernstein, and Delaney Nash in the safety spots. Jet zero, nowhere to go here on second down. Taken back for a loss of maybe 4 yards.
That's the downside of those sorts of delayed handoffs, Tyler, which did work for them on the 3rd and 3 in the last set of downs, but this time Fort Worth able to play off the line, get it around to the outside, seal it off, and now Queen City facing a 3rd and long.
Back to third downs. Both clubs on offense are converting on less than 50% of their third downs so far this season. Queen City, are they able to capitalize this time around? Pass over the middle, caught. They're 2 for 2 today. It's a beautiful catch over the middle by Doug Spelling, and they are across the 50 down to the 38.
Doug Spelling making the catch in traffic, just a little bit out of the way. They didn't need that much in terms of flash, so they just got the first down, and they got a good chunk of yards on top.
Doug Spelling was only the 3rd stringer on the wide receiver depth chart a season ago, moves up to number 2 and is paying big dividends. Deep bomb for Caswell, near side tipped, and it's incomplete. Great coverage by Adam Leach, denies Spelling a touchdown.
You know, that's not actually a bad throw to go on that sort of play, Tyler. It's early in the game. You want to establish momentum, and for Queen City, a team that struggled to do that last week against Houston, that is a great play to try and do it on.
And they had tried to lull him to sleep, right, Jack? They were throwing those short little out routes. They tried to go over the top on first down, and well, I might as well take a shot, but luckily for the Corsairs, it winds up being incomplete. 2nd down and 10, still from the 38 of Fort Worth. 3 wide receivers set, handoff up the middle, will go for about 2 yards, and making his presence felt earlier is that's not going to be Jeff Duffy this time around. It's J.L. Browning with the tackle. Another 3rd down. Third down of the drive here for the Corsairs. Caswell looks far side. It's caught by Powell, but short of the first down by about 4 yards. And we might see Judah Dorgan try and attempt his longest field goal of the season.
That wasn't a bad play at all, Tyler. It just seemed to be that everything was just a little bit out of rhythm, and now they're going to have to go for the field goal.
A solid drive, which could encompass a little over 3 minutes. So a very solid, stable opening drive, and Judah Dorgan on to attempt a long 49-yard field goal right from the center of the field. Splits the hashes. Snap spot. Judah Dorgan's kick is up, and it is well good. Very nice kick, and the Corsairs take an early 3-0 lead. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, the SFL combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And Dorgan puts his boot through the ball, and on the return now is Cade Stevens, and Stevens can't bounce it out further than the 22-yard line. That'll see us introduce Johnny Reno, the rookie quarterback from Tacoma, in a Fort Worth Toro uniform. Reno, on the season so far, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He threw 1 touchdown and 1 pick just a week ago against the defending champion Baltimore Vultures. First play will be a handoff for the Toros. Goes through the middle with Jason Williams, and Williams is able to pick up 2 yards, and that'll give us a chance to introduce you to the rest of Fort Worth's offensive starters. Johnny Reno, the quarterback. Jason Williams, the halfback, with Jay-Z Bacon, his understudy. Aaron Alexander is the fullback. Cade Stevens, Charlie Baker, Mike Twinsker, and Stephen Hacker make up the wide receivers, with Robert Garrett Jr. at tight end. 3 wide receivers. Reno to throw. Over the middle, that is caught, and with room to run for a little bit across midfield. Nice pitch and catch to Stephen Hacker.
Yeah, as he was a defender there, Maurice Lloyd thought he probably came away with a pick. You could see him sliding down, but he had left way too much room available, and the receiver was able to catch it and go way farther than probably he initially bargained for. Great opening pass for the Fort Worth Toros.
After the 3 wide receiver set, they try and stack everybody in tight. Little floater over the middle is bobbled and dropped, incomplete. The receiver was surrounded by a host of defenders, including BJ Loveless.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a bad throw. It was just a quick strike to get a few yards going. Functions the same way as a run, really.
I formation, 2 wide receivers to the left, 4-3 look here from Queen City. Handoff up the middle, Williams fighting his way through traffic and is eventually brought down at the 40-yard line. 3rd and short upcoming here for the Toros.
Yeah, Jason Williams here, he's known for being just kind of like a nice sort of pound the rock sort of back. Fort Worth, obviously, coming in with a unique 3-member backfield setup, although most of the time they'll mostly just be using Williams and Aaron Alexander.
Coverage backs off. Reno looks underneath. He has his man. He's short of the first down, though. He tried to hook up with Cade Stevens, and Cade Stevens couldn't turn the corner. Ted Haynes denies him the first down.
Yeah, Cade Stevens just seemed to come back in a little bit too much on the route. It was a well-designed play, just designed to get the first down. Unfortunately for Fort Worth, though, it's not enough, and they're going to be staying out, and they might go for it.
8 men in the box for Queen City. Can they deny Fort Worth? They will go with a run. Jason Williams has to bounce out of a couple tackles. He picks up the first down. An early statement from the Toros as they convert on 4th down.
The name you called on that play was Jason Williams, but honestly, if there was a person who I would say made that play happen, it was Aaron Alexander, the fullback. Just got the blocks. If it wasn't for those blocks from Aaron Alexander in that front and that offensive line, that wouldn't have worked. It'd be Queen City ball.
Reno is going to find Williams on the backfield, and Williams makes a man fly next to him like Superman as he picks up 2 yards. Under 5 minutes to go here from Buffalo, New York. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Game 1 of 4 going on today. DC and Mexico City coming up later over on the SFL's Twitch page. You're going to throw again. It's another dump off for Williams. Makes another spin, and another one is sent off to be like Superman. We got 2 people entering the DC universe.
I was almost going to say banishing them to the Shadow Realm, but that's a whole different universe. Yeah, Jason Williams, he just comes in with the arm, he comes in with the shoulder, and he just is blasting people left and right. Unfortunately, he's not blasting people for a lot of yards, though.
2 yards on that previous play. 4 wide receivers set. Reno underneath, caught by Robert Garrett Jr. He fights for the first down. He can't get it. Correction, that's Cade Stevens. 4th and inches. Do you go for it again?
It's a little bit more testy at this range. You might just try and kick the field goal, just try and tie it up. You're not down by 7, you're only down by 3.
Offense stays on the field. Power eye set. 4th and the length of an oak card, or the width of an oak card, or the thickness of an oak card. Insert analogy here. But I think this time Reno is just going to try and play the patient waiting game and see if he can catch one of the Corsairs offside. Indeed he will. He does call a timeout. And it looked for a moment there, Jack, they were going to go for it. Instead, they'll send out the kicking unit.
Yeah, it's a little bit more interesting they don't go for it there. You're closer to the goal line, and you have less that you need for the first down. Interesting call there from Fort Worth, but they're going to tie the game up.
On 4th and inches, out comes Amelia Rose, the rookie kicker out of Ottawa, to try and tack home 3 points for the Toros. This one looks to be about a 31-yarder from the left hash. Snap, spot kick is up, and it is through the uprights and good. 40 yards, her longest of her SFL career, and we're all tied back up right about where we started, 3 apiece.
2 very good drives from both teams. Not a lot of red zone action really is the only thing that we weren't able to see. However, if these two drives hold for the rest of the game, I think we're in for a barn burner.
Both drives, both Queen City's and Fort Worth, both 10-play drives. Fort Worth 53 yards, all coming with that long field goal. Ochoa now on the return here for Queen Cities. He tries to bounce it out to the left side. He's taken down at the 26-yard line. On come the Corsairs offense, looking for another stable drive.
Yeah, the Corsairs, they didn't have a bad start on the last drive. However, this time they're going to need to get a little bit more efficient with their play calling. They kind of had some struggles last time. Should be interesting to see what they do.
Caswell stands in the gun with Zero and Kamasak to his left and right, two wide receivers off to the right. You fade route off to the left side, caught and trying to fight his way for the first down is Chris Kamasak, the fullback, and the fullback picks up the first down.
There is no more underappreciated player on a football team than a fullback. Not just in the blocking aspects of the game, but even in receiving, they can be a little bit more dynamic, and you're starting to see a lot more dynamic fullbacks here in the SFL. They're populating the league, and they're only growing more and more popular.
Guys will throw on this first down. This one, a deep bomb over the middle, picked up and going the other way. Fort Worth defense comes up in a massive way. Blake Prine with the interception.
They're trying to go deep. They're trying to figure out if they can maybe just hit them over the top and going for a big score. However, on plays like this, the downside is you can get a pick if you're not careful, and Fort Worth coming right back with it.
Caswell's pass looked to be a little bit underthrown, intended for Powell, and Prine was the beneficiary of that underthrown pass. And on come the Toros offense. They are going to start in plus territory early on this football game. Need to take advantage if you're Fort Worth. Reno will look to throw. Out route near side. Stevens picks up about 4 yards before he's brought down. And that'll give us a chance to introduce you to the Queen City Corsair defensive line. Andre Krim, David Tilley, and DJ Majesty are the defensive linemen. Jared Crow, BJ Loveless, Nathaniel Diggs, the linebackers. Corey Griffin and Ted Haynes, the corners, with King Jamal, Jorge Torres, and Maurice Lloyd, the safeties. Our eye here for Fort Worth. Reno looks over the middle. Caught. First down to the 29-yard line. It's a good floater over the middle, and that is going to be, can't really check who that is. That's Jamal Martin, the backup tight end.
Found the soft spot in the Queen City defense and finds the backup tight end. You see these sorts of plays a lot. They like to rotate out tight ends here in the SFL and sets up first down.
Through the middle goes Jason Williams. He has a pickup of 9.
Nice first down run from Williams.
Knocking on the door of the red zone, just inside it at the 20-yard line. 2nd and 1. Under 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Offset eye behind Johnny Reno. Williams with the call. Through the middle. Falls forward and is marked short of the first down marker. 3rd and inches upcoming for Fort Worth.
Yeah, that was Jared Crow on the tackle, able to just barely catch Williams before he was able to scuttle away for the first down. Great stop by Fort Worth, or by Queen City.
Fort Worth 0 of 2 on 3rd downs today. Can they make this one work? No. 0 of 3. They lose 3.5 yards. Williams couldn't find the traction, and BJ Loveless came flying into the backfield, and out comes the field goal unit for the Toros.
You could tell that play was not going to work from the start, Tyler. They were trying to go right to the outside, maybe do a little bit of misdirection from what Queen City was expecting, but Queen City was able to seal off the outside, and as you said, Williams not able to find any room upfield, and it's going to be a field goal attempt for Fort Worth.
39-yarder from the right hash for Amelia Rose. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. She's 2 of 2, and she helps Fort Worth take the lead. It's 6-3. Fort Worth defense hold Queen City after that 8-play short 21-yard drive, and it all culminated with that field goal from Amelia Rose, 39-yard attempt. Look at us going once again. Here comes Ochoa on the return, who's going to also try and angle out to the far side. He's going to get only the 23 this time around. Out comes the offense for the Corsairs. And if you're AJ Caswell, yes, you're looking for the history books, but you have to take better control of that football.
Yeah, fundamentally, coaches, everyone else out there, in terms of actually playing the game of football, they're not really concerned about what records you're going for your own personal self. They care about winning football games, and you're not going to be winning football games if you're throwing deep picks like that all the time.
Caswell alone of the gun. He's going to look to throw, out route near side, caught on the sideline for a gain of about 3 to Deezer Powell. That's Doug Spelling, my apologies.
Nice quick throw to start it out. Queen City, they like to air it out a lot more than probably most other teams in this league. However, you got to have those basically passes built as runs, and Queen City using them to effect.
7, 8 men on the line for the Fort Worth Toros. That 9 is when the linebackers shift up. Caswell floats it out near side. It's caught by Chris Komisak, and he goes back a yard as the Toros defense, they've played some pretty good coverage as of late. The defense in franchise history has played pretty well. Maybe a slump here to begin the early part of the season, though. Fort Worth's defense is one of the best in terms of teams that give up third downs the most least, and we're going to find out what happens on that third down conversion when we come back. The Toros have the lead 6-3 here in Buffalo. We'll come back in just a few moments or watch the SFL on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to Buffalo, New York. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Jack Brown. Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening. Big third down here for the Corsairs. Floater to the near side, intended for Powell, is knocked away by Aiden Davis, and it's a quick 3-and-out for the Corsairs.
And while for a lot of people who may just be tuning in, Tyler, they didn't see the first quarter in those last 2 plays, but that has been indicative of what this game has been so far. Queen City, they've been trying to do their usual. They've been trying to air it out. They've been trying to find men narrow and deep, but Fort Worth has been suffocating on defense so far, and for Queen City, they're not able to find anything.
So for the first time today, Greg Morrison, the punter for Queen City, makes an appearance, and he boots that one away. For Cade Stevens to try and make a return. He's going to try and just go straight at the coverage unit, and he's taken down at the 45-yard line. Fort Worth with the lead. 2 drives, one a long one that started deep in their own territory. The other came off of the interception. Now here comes drive number 3, looking to maybe extend the lead potentially.
Yeah, for Fort Worth, though, they're definitely going to be looking for touchdowns this time instead of just field goals.
Power I formation. It'll be a handoff in the far side direction for Williams, and Williams tries to spin out a 1 as eventually taken down by his ankles after a pickup of 3.
Not a bad start. That's exactly what you like to see as an offense. Keeps you on schedule.
Now from the 48, they come out in the same exact formation. 8 men in the box for Queen City to try and counter. They'll do the exact same play, this time with a few more blockers, but fantastic containment on the far side as the corner was able to get off his blocks and shut it down. Ted Haynes got off the block. I believe that was Stephen Hacker there on the far side. Gets off his blocker and brings down Williams.
That is a perfect way to go about it as a quarterback. You know, you can't just expect a good corner to be good in the pass. You need him to also be able to seal off the outsides and be good on the run. 3rd and 7 now for Fort Worth.
Duck and set. Deep ball over the middle is incomplete. It was intended for Hacker, but he couldn't haul it in as it was contained quite nicely into double coverage, and that's also a quick 3 and out.
Stephen Hacker can do a lot of things, Tyler. I don't think making a catch in triple or quadruple coverage is exactly one of those things. You got to be able to at least give your receiver some sort of space to work with as a quarterback. And for Johnny Reno now, coming up empty, and Fort Worth forced to punt.
They do have this narrow 3-point lead. We'll see if the defense can continue to hold the Corsair offense. Ochoa calls for a fair catch at his own 18-yard line. And the Corsairs offense, which looked to be off to a good start with their early long drive in the last 2 drives here, Jack, well, they've kind of sputtered out.
Yeah, they had something going on the first drive, but as you said, Tyler, a pick and a punt has been what has happened since for Queen City. And you got to think at some point, when are they going to just try and work on the fundamentals and just try and focus on moving the ball?
As well, far side. That is hauled in by Jet Zero, pick up a 3. And maybe that's the game plan for both these clubs here, Jack, is to maybe have a little bit of a, old school football game. Maybe try and keep it close. Let the defense handle most of the work.
Yeah, it's kind of like whenever you're playing poker, they've basically kind of like double bluffed each other, or I guess more like single bluffed, where they're both expecting these high octane passing attacks, and so to counter it, they're coming in with these very just like ground and pound, like almost 70s Big Ten style football.
Speaking of ground and pound, there goes Jet Zero up for about 3 yards. He's brought down by Nacho Sicario and J.L. Browning, and it brings up another 3rd down. Third downs have been the story for both these ball clubs so far this season. So far today for Queen City, they're 2 of 5. This is their 6th third down of the ball game. Caswell over the middle. That is caught and fumbled, and Fort Worth's going to recover. Delaney Nash falls on the loose ball. I don't know if the receiver made a complete football move, but for now, it's a turnover.
Yeah, that play happened so fast. We're going to see on the replay here. If I was Queen City, I'd challenge that. That looked like it was just too little time to actually establish a football move. And I would not be surprised if we see the red handkerchief coming out. Yes, there it is.
Indeed, it will come out from head coach Chris Komisak. And just like RC2, we'll take a peek under the hood and take a closer look at it. If it stands, credit Blake Prime with 2 turnovers on the day. He forced that fumble as the receiver's hands with the football came right down on his helmet.
Yeah, it looked to be just a little bit too high. I think they're going to overturn this. Good break for Queen City.
So the ball did indeed pop up before the receiver made a complete football move. Incomplete's the call, but instead of it being a turnover, the Queen City Corsairs will now have to send out the punting unit.
You know, they call it little victories, and for Queen City, this is definitely one of those. At the bare minimum, they'll at least be able to gain a little ground in the field position battle.
Greg Morrison for his second punt of the ball game gets this one off. For Cade Stevens, he's going to call for a fair catch at his own 44. That is where the Toros' offensive lineup will take to the field once again. And this game is pretty much ground to a halt rather quickly in the second quarter.
Yeah, it looked like for a moment we were going to have some fireworks out here, Tyler. I even said it was going to be a little bit of a barn burner. And, well, it could still be a barn burner. It might just be starting a little bit slow.
Johnny Reno passes near side. That is caught. Gain of about 3. Cade Stevens on the reception. Making the tackle was Jorge Torres. Closing on the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. Offset eye behind Johnny Reno. 4-3 look from Queen City. Reno to throw, steps up and fires into coverage, and it's incomplete. That looked really close from either being an interception or a catch. BJ Love was in on the coverage. I think got a hand to it.
Yeah, BJ Love, this is what he's known for doing here in the SFL. He is one of the very few linebackers that you could say can almost play corner at some point.
Does have 2 interceptions on this season. Another third down for Fort Worth. They are 0 for 4 today. Rip set to the right. Reno rolls and fires near side. That's conversion number 1. That is hauled in. Number 44, Robert Garrett Jr. for their first third down conversion of the ball game, and it goes to the Queen City 44.
Robert Garrett and BJ Lovelace getting into it a little bit after the play. Not a fantastic way to get a first down. It's a little bit dirty, but it's what you like to see. 1st and 10 now for Fort Worth.
Reno 2-step drop, fires quickly over the middle, caught for about 7 yards as Robert Garrett Jr. is nearly leveled at the 37-yard line by King Jamal. Second and short here for Fort Worth. I formation behind Johnny Reno. Handoff, Jason Williams through the middle. He'll pick up the first down and still fighting off defenders to the 28-yard line. Eventually, he is brought down, but not before he got the first.
Jason Williams just rumbling through the Queen City defense. You can see here right after the handoff, he found the hole, but even then where the hole wasn't there, where it was getting a little bit plugged up, he made the hole himself and is able to get it down to the 28-yard line. If nothing else, Fort Worth is dominating the field position battle here, Tyler.
Inside the 30. Maybe trying to get the first touchdown of the ball game. Trip set to the right. Reno alone of the gun. Back to pass. Over the middle. Robert Garrett Jr. caught and is plastered to the turf. He had to work hard and he paid the price for getting 8 yards.
Yeah, Tyler, it's something that I like to say a lot. That's one of those health insurance throws. You throw it up there, hope your guy catches it, and afterwards you hope the health insurance can cover what happens next.
Oh boy, send him to the hospital right in that hospital pass. 8 men in the box to try and cover Fort Worth's heavy set. Williams goes to the far side, has a couple of blockers. He'll pick up about 10 yards and more. To the 10-yard line he goes inside the red zone.
You see SFL teams running that heavy set a lot, and that is when it can work to perfection. It's when you get these short yard situations, you don't need a lot, but you can certainly get a lot out of them. And for Fort Worth, they are the first team to get within the 15 either end today.
Right on the doorstep of Pater. Can they punch it in? 3 wide receivers, I formation here for Fort Worth. 3-3 nickel look here from Queen City. Reno to throw. Looks near side, is caught in the backfield by Aaron Alexander, and he's taken back for a loss. Cody Griffin gets into the backfield to bring him down.
Yeah, Tyler, being in these sort of situations where it's first and goal from like the 10 or the 11, or the 9 or the 10, these are extremely awkward situations to be in. And so for Fort Worth, it wasn't necessarily a bad play call, but for Queen City, you got to feel good about yourself.
Pass over the middle is incomplete as Reno couldn't get the pass off before he's hit in the stomach by David Tilley, and it's 3rd and goal from the 12.
Those passes that you see coming out of the heavy set, those tend to be stuff that take a little while to develop. You need to give them a few seconds to breathe. Queen City knew that, and they shut down the entire thing. And now it's 12 yards to go, 3rd and goal.
City played bump coverage in a short field. Reno to pass. He can't get the ball off, but is taken down finally by David Tilley. 3rd time's the charm for the defensive tackle, and out comes the field goal unit for Fort Worth.
Queen City's defense, what a huge stop. If they had not gotten that, this game would have become wildly different. But for Fort Worth, they still shed a boatload of time off the clock, and they'll now be able to go up by a full touchdown lead over the Queen City Corsairs.
Snap spot. Amelia Rose has been busy today, and she knocks home her 3rd field goal of the ball game, and it's 9-3 Fort Worth in enemy territory. Do you have a hot take? Want to show your appreciation for the SFL or show some love to your teammates? The league's new show, SFL Crunch Time, wants to hear from you. Post a video on Twitter with your take or shout out and use the hashtag SFL Crunch Time, and you may just appear on the show this week. Want more details? Direct message Josh Circle on Discord, and we'll see you in Crunch Time. Kicks away from Rose, and Ochoa is going to try and start his return near his own goal line, angling toward the near side. Flag on the play, and he'll get to about the 30-yard line, or 25-yard line, excuse me. But for the first time today, RC2 wants to get on the mic. They're going to get a block in the back on Queen City. That'll send them back a little bit, probably closer to their own 15-yard line, as we shoot you back to SFL headquarters for a game break from our nation's capital in D.C. Cam?
Thank you, Tyler. Mike, the league's leading rusher, back at it again.
Yeah, Cam, Kevin say he's picking up right where he left off last weekend against the Lone Star Glory with another long touchdown run here off of a spin move. Takes it up the middle and goes 59 yards for the touchdown, and DC's up 7-0 on Mexico City.
There it is. Nice move, Say. Back to Tyler Falk in Buffalo.
Thank you, Cam. A little bit of an inception there as the ball bobbles around a little bit, as trying to make an acrobatic catch was Doug Spelling. That falls incomplete.
Things seem to be bouncing around a little bit too much there, and for Queen City, they're lucky they're able to still just keep marching forward. 2nd down.
From the 12-yard line, offset eye behind A.J. Caswell. Tight end flexed off to the left. Handoff, jet zero, far side. Has to fight off defenders behind the line of scrimmage. Makes his way forward eventually for a hard pick up about 3 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
Good run to the outside. However, for Queen City, they are in rather unfortunate circumstances where they're going to need to pass the ball, and as that graphic just shows, A.J. Caswell not having a good day passing.
See if it improves here on this 3rd down play as he's back to pass, looking far side. It's caught, but unable to turn the corner was Christopher Ochoa. Another 3 and out for Queen City.
And this Fort Worth defense continues to suffocate the Queen City offense. To a certain extent, you kind of have to wonder if Queen City is going to be able to get anything done this first half, or if they're just going to have to go into the locker room, figure out what went wrong, and come back out as take 2 and half number 2.
It looks to me, Jack, with this being a 4th-play drive, which ends in a punt, that if you get past 4 plays in a drive, you're scoring points, or at least that's how it's looked so far here in this football game. Cade Stevens trying to truck his way toward the logo, gets to the 48-yard line before Fort Worth takes over on offense, and they start excellent field position.
Yeah, for Fort Worth, starting on their own side of the field, starting in plus yardage. This is going to be a great start for Fort Worth in a drive where if they can put some more points up on the board, they'll be in firm control of the ball game heading into the second half.
Reno with a gun. He's going to look to throw. He'll swing it out to Jason Williams on the far side, and Williams picks up about 9 yards before he's eventually taken down at Queen City's 43.
Not a bad play there from Fort Worth, but Jared Crow able to catch up to the outside, making that cross-field play, and prevents the first down. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
9-3 our score here in Queen City. 2 wide receivers set. Robert Garrett Jr., the tight end, flicks off to the left in this I formation package. Williams through the middle, picks up the first down before he eventually is hit hard by King Jamal and company. Queen City 40-yard line is what he got to, which brings up a first down.
Got what he needed, not much more on top of it.
It's an old school football game we've got here in Buffalo, New York. Not a whole lot of yardage, but if willing to play a little bit tough, you might just pick up a couple first downs. That might lead to points. Williams on the near side runs out of a wimpy tackle, picks up 6 yards before Jamal again with the tackle.
Yeah, Tyler, this is one of those games that some may say is for the purists. You know, just very nitty-gritty, and Fort Worth is seeming to adapt to that play style much better than Queen City, at least on offense.
Dane Kaufman and Dwayne Schiller, our statisticians, letting us know that that's King Jamal's 4th tackle of the ballgame, currently leads the team so far today in that category. Williams, far side, can only pick up maybe a yard before he's brought down by B.J. Loveless at the 33-yard line. And another third down is upcoming here for us. That brings us to the 2-minute warning here in Queen City. We'll be back. This is the SFL on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to Compro Field here in Buffalo, New York. Under 2 minutes to go. Johnny Reno looks over the middle. That is caught. First down to the 18-yard line, and they're in the red zone, trying to add more points to the ball game as Mike Twinscrew, the former Revolution, gets into the act.
Mike Twinscrew able to just stop on a dime, give that extra half second that caused the defenders to spread away. And good news for Fort Worth, they're right back into the red zone. Back-to-back trips to the red zone for the Toros.
Three wide receivers, offset single back behind Johnny Reno. 3-3 nickel look here from Queen City. Reno to throw. Pumps once, is finally going to swing it out to Williams, who makes a nice toe tap catch on the far sideline. However, it will take him back a yard.
I can see what Fort Worth was trying to do, just try and get it to the outside and, step out of bounds so you can maybe stop the clock, give yourself a little bit more time and room to work with. Unfortunately, it just seemed the rhythm was a little bit out of sync, and it's going to be 2nd and 11.
Shotgun set, trips to the right of Johnny Reno. Bump coverage from Queen City. Reno steps up, fires near side, caught with a little bit of room to run is the Cowboy, Robert Garrett Jr. as he waltzes inside the 10-yard line down to the 6. First down, Toros.
Another good play from Robert Garrett Jr. to the outside. It was the same play that a few drives ago got him a first down, and he's just able to go for that marker. He knows his goal line. He knows the goal. It's not the goal line. It's the first down marker. Gets right up there, not much more. 1st and goal from the 6.
Last time Fort Worth were inside the 10-yard line, they were pushed out and eventually had to go for a field goal. Can they get a touchdown this time around? Williams on the give. Left side, spinning around and finding his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Worth.
The words we've been waiting forever to hear in this ballgame, Tyler, a touchdown scored. This time it's by none other than Jason Williams, the man who's been basically the main driver of this Fort Worth Toros offense. He's able to pick up the blocks to the outside, and he just needs to spin around once, and he's in for the 6. And for Fort Worth, this has been an almost perfect first half from their perspective.
Snap spot. Emilio Rosa's extra point is up and good, and the Toros will take an extended lead. 16-3 our score now here in Buffalo, as Queen City is now staring again at a deep hole to try and climb out. Fort Worth looking for their first victory. What a win it would be against Queen City.
That it would for Fort Worth, going up against their old pals, they're basically their dads, and now they're ahead by 13 points, and they've been leaving Queen City just spinning in the mud. It's a very similar game for Queen City as what we saw last week in Houston, where just for the majority of the game, they were not able to find any way to get going on offense, and Queen City was punished severely for it.
On comes AJ Caswell and company. 1:10 left to go here in the first half. They need to make something happen, maybe spark a little bit of life in this crowd, as it's been all Fort Worth ever since the end of their first offensive possession. Handoff, jet zero through the middle. That's only going to pick up a yard, though maybe 2 at a closer look at it, as Jabril Curse comes up with a tackle as we tick under a minute to go.
Seems to be that Queen City is just trying to take off as much clock as possible, limit the damage that Fort Worth can do, and just go into the half and regroup.
Fort Worth will get the ball to start the second half, so they're not really milking the clock to try and milk it for the beginning of the second half, per se. It has a swing route, jet zero near side. He shoulders the man to the turf. Is eventually taken out of bounds, though the clock will keep running under 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to say that the knees hit down while zero was still in bounds. Kind of an interesting call on that respect. However, for Queen City, they got to get right back up to the line. They realistically have time for 1, maybe 2 more plays, depending on how far they can get down the field.
10 seconds left to go. Caswell looking for the out far side. Caught. Gain of about 8, maybe 9 to the 30-yard line, and Caswell will call a timeout. With 3 seconds remaining, more than likely we're either going to see a heave-ho or a short little run.
These are the fun sort of moments in the SFL where you go into the mind of a coach. You go into the mind of Chris Komisak. What is he going to be coming up with? Although he's certainly given a mouthful to AJ Caswell, so it might not be the deep ball that we're hoping for.
1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock to begin the drive. You would think there might be a little bit more ingenuity trying to maybe march down the field and try and claw back a little bit of lead before the half. However, it looks like Queen City are just content with running out the rest of this clock. Jet Zero gets the call, getting barely past the line of scrimmage, taken down after a gain of a yard, and that is where we're going to see it to the end of the first half. Fort Worth have come into Queen City, and they lead 16-3. We're off to the halftime report with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green when we come back. You're watching the SFL on Next Level Sports.
Welcome back to SFL Studios for the APM Music Halftime Report. Alongside Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. 16-3. Mike, second straight week we've seen Queen City kind of sleepwalking through a football game. What's going on?
Yeah, Cam, they are definitely struggling offensively. They signed a couple of high valued offensive linemen in the offseason. For as free agents go, they drafted offensive lineman Odette Boudreaux in the second round. So they definitely want to run the ball and pound it at you and get Jet Zero going. But, man, it has been difficult sledding for them. Jet Zero came into this game with only 255 yards in the first three games and only averaging about 3.3 per carry, and we didn't think that could get any worse than that. But today it's been even more of a struggle, only 16 yards rushing, and he's only averaging about 2.1 yards per carry right now. So that offense is struggling. Queen City only 86 total yards in the first half. Fort Worth, and they're built very similar. They like to control the ball with Jason Williams. He has a touchdown run. But the rookie Johnny Reno, they've, just a short passing game, not putting them in any big stressful situations, and now they find themselves up in this game.
Yeah, they've done a nice job getting Robert Garrett Jr. out in the flats, giving Reno an outlet. He's really done a nice job mixing the ball around, and they haven't needed much offense. They just needed a little bit. Queen City has really not been able to get going with all that offensive line talent. Mike, as you said, it's kind of disappointing to see that out of the Corsairs. Hey, how about we put a bow on week 3? It was an awesome, crazy, wild week 3, full of big plays, especially from a team playing in our nation's capital right now. We'll get to that game in a moment, get you updates on that. But the top 10 plays for week 3, here they are.
Quarter number 2, I'm Mike Daggs, joined in the booth by Matt Wilson, Gerald Smith, and Ike McBride with us on stats. Cameron Irvine, our producer. And third down and 2, Dunhill Throws a quick pass, and that one is complete. Oh, he fumbles in. It's recovered by Vancouver. Another turnover by the Kings offense.
Oh, he just got destroyed.
Yeah.
Right. Boom. Right on the ball.
Caswell looking to throw. Right side. That one's intercepted. Back the other way. And this could turn into a score. And it will. What a play. What a drive. Back downfield. Houston with a pick six.
Hyenas. I mean, to say they've come alive in this game has been an absolute understatement. Now, there's still a whole half of football to play, Chris, but this has to be one of the most dominant first half performances I've seen.
Love it. I do love it as well, protecting our freedom. Representing.
Rose. Oh, that's somehow caught by Jay Taylor between two people.
It's very dicey.
He stepped up. Here's the pass.
Another full wide receiver set here for the Nine Wings. They're going to throw deep, and the pass is going to be caught. And is behind the defense. Pass the 40, pass the 35, pass the 20. And he's going to go. Touchdown, Denver. Well, we'll see. Yeah, touchdown, Nine Wings, as he was showboating before he got to the end zone.
Third down and 9. Jackson with 2 and 2. Gonna throw to the right side. Pass is intercepted. Picked off by Vegas, and he's got room to run. Oh my goodness! Stopped at the 20. Still going and goes all the way. Touchdown, Vegas! Chris Magel picks it off and brings it home.
Just a quick little stutter step was enough to throw off the Arizona Scorpions offense and make his way into the end zone for a huge pick six.
Tyree alone in the shotgun. He's going to throw. Tyree fires, and the pass is going to be caught off the deflection for a touchdown. Sioux Falls, A.J. Warren.
Today, and none bigger than that right there. It looked like it was tipped and then caught on the tip. So what a heads-up play.
In the shotgun. He's going to throw. The pass is deep. A post right in. It's going to be knocked away. And caught again off the deflection. How are they doing that? Oh, Dylan Precision with a first down.
This offense must just do tip drill every single day, because that's the second time they've had just the most wild tip drill catch.
Help keep Dunhill upright and opening up holes in the run game. Dunhill to pass on first down. And it is batted down at the line and picked off.
Somebody got their hands up. Number 30, Lister.
Following the field goal by the Lone Star Glory, they shorten that deficit there to 8 points. A one-possession ball game as Rockefeller gets back into the ball game, handling the return duties, and he's free. He's busted up the middle. He's got no one in front of him. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Kanye, say it and so.
All on that return, and it felt good for Kanye Rockefeller as he finds his way into the end zone, breaking tackles on the way. And just like that, gosh, you really felt like that had to be a big defensive drive for the Lone Star Glory, and I just absolutely stuttered on the very first special teams play. Absolutely incredible.
Utah, low snap, fires away, one-handed interception on the goal line, and here comes Tulsa the other way. He's in it, it's only week 3.
Yeah, amazing interception. He goes high just like the Daniel Wright interception there, and he just motors himself all the way down.
We're going to see what they do here in offset eye. Lone Star itching for that run, and they're going to get it as Kevin Say throws down the spin cycle, and he's off to the races once again. 10, 5, touchdown. Oh, say, can you see?
Oh my goodness. I mean, what more could you ask for? That was absolutely beautiful. Not only is the defense left shaking in their boots, looking for their ankles on the field as we speak, I feel like the offensive linemen were also not sure where he went. And what a beautiful move by Kevin Say.
Kevin Say gets the #1 play of the week, Mike, and he's already got another long touchdown today as DC's trying to keep their undefeated season alive. They're up 14-3 on Mexico City.
Yeah, Cam, I think it's time to start asking the question. as we reached one-third point of the season after today, are the Dragons one of the best teams in the league right now? They are definitely balanced. They pass just as well as they do run the ball. Riding the back of Kevin Say, as you mentioned, but Sebastian Synergy, he's been effective as well, at least starting this game off. And the offense is incredibly balanced. The defense is playing well. And, man, DC off to another great start today, 14-3 right now. And, we have to start asking that question after today maybe.
They haven't beaten the Mexico City Aztecs since they beat them in the championship game in Season 5. It's Season 18, and right now they're looking pretty good at home, trying to get to 4-0 and pull ahead, at least temporarily, of Baltimore while the defending champs are on their bye, Mike. 16-3, Fort Worth leads Queen City at the half. What do you want to see out of Queen City in the second half? What's the biggest key they got to fix?
They're going to have to start throwing the ball a little bit, Cam. I know they're not really comfortable doing that a whole lot. Their offense is definitely geared towards the running game, but I think they've just gotten in too much of a conservative mode here to start this season off, and in particular in this game. Fort Worth is seemingly have the football the entire first half here. I would just like to see Queen City open it up a little bit and throw the ball around a little bit.
All right, we'll see what they do. We'll get you back to the second half. Compro Field in Buffalo, New York. After this has been the APM Music Halftime Report. We'll see you back here for postgame.
Thanks, Cam and Mike. Tyler Falk, Jack Brown here in the booth. Wayne Schindler, Shane Kopp in the stats truck, and of course, Cam back at SFL HQ is also our producer. Thanks for joining us here this Saturday afternoon, and we're ready for more action here from Queen City as the Toros have a 13-point lead, looking to extend it after Cade Stevens' return gets them to the 26-yard line, as that is where they will start their first possession of the second half. And Jack, let's get some of your thoughts on that first half.
Yeah, well, the first half was pretty good if your name was, basically anyone on the Fort Worth Toros, but especially Jason Williams, able to really carry the brunt of this Fort Worth attack with a little over 50 yards on 13 attempts and the touchdown. Meanwhile, for Queen City, they were struggling again. They were spinning in the mud like they were last week. And if last week any indication...
Off to the far side. Sorry to cut you off there, Jack, but Williams trying to make a big play to start off the half.
Yeah, and that is basically what has been happening throughout the majority of the game, or at least the majority of the first half. Williams being able to get out in open space and Queen City not able to compensate for it. Meanwhile, on Queen City's side of the ball, they've been spinning. They've been spinning their wheels in the mud.
See if they can get some traction against this Fort Worth Toro offense. Offset eye behind Reno. 3 wide receivers. That might be a tight end flexed off to the right. Linebackers show blitz. One of the linemen jump off sides and folded up like a lawn chair behind the line of scrimmage was Jason Williams. by Crow. However, this is going to be a free play as Fort Worth's going to get 5 yards out of the offsides.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 95, defense. 5-yard penalty.
They'll tag DJ Majesty with the flag, and it'll be 1st and 5 for Fort Worth.
Yeah, those are the sorts of very kind of like common mistakes you'll see here in the SFL. Not sort of mistakes you'd be expecting to see from a guy like DJ Majesty, who's been in here in this league for about an eon and a half. Disappointing to see, but it's still all the time in the world. There's another one.
Another flag, another free 5 yards coming up, and this will make it a free 1st down for the Toros. Let's get the call again on the back-to-back plays from R62.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 78, defense.
This time it's the other defensive end, Andre Krim, who's looking for sack number 20 of his career. He jumps off sides, and it's 1st and 10 now for the Toros.
You know, Tyler, if you're on defense, that's one of the worst things that you can do is just be giving up those sorts of free, easy 1st downs. When
and they just kill you, right? Penalties kill you, right?
Yeah.
Offset eye behind Johnny Reno, handoff Williams near side. This time they're able to get into the backfield, and all 3 starting out defensive linemen make the appearance in the last 3 plays. This time it's for a good reason. David Tilley comes up with a tackle for a 3-yard loss.
The giddiness they were having clearly on those last 2 plays finally manifesting itself, and they were able to result it into a 3-yard loss. Great job by the Queen City defensive line to make up for the free 10 yards.
Reno, deep drop, is just going to fire underneath. That is caught by Hacker, and he's turned around and threw to the ground by King Jamal. That was a heck of a hit by the team leader in tackles today.
Seemed to be a little bit too much room, but for Steven Hacker, even a yard around him is too much. He's able to make those catches in even difficult situations. Gains 11 yards, makes it 3rd and manageable.
3rd and short here for the Toros. Can they find success on 3rd down? Handoff, Williams near side. He's met up behind the line, taken down for a loss. And they're now only converting on 25% of their 3rd downs today, make them 2 of 8 as BJ Loveless and Nathaniel Diggs get behind the line.
Yeah, this seems to be the one spot where the Queen City Corsairs defense has really been on lockdown, Tyler. As you said, Fort Worth only 25% on 3rd downs. They started out 0-5 on the 3rd downs, and that punt's nearly blocked. It's been the real only upside that Queen City's had.
Good little punt is corralled at the 3-yard line, and the Fort Worth special teams does its job as Queen City is backed up deep in their own end zone. And I'm going to quote Mike St. Green as they look to be sleepwalking through the first 2 quarters. They definitely need to wake up in a hurry.
Yeah, definitely, Tyler. And if there's anything that should wake you up, it should be looking behind you and seeing your own goalposts and all the nitty-gritty detail down to the paint chips. For the first drive, the second half for Queen City, they need something here badly.
You can't park there, son. You have to move. You have to go forward. Can't go backward. Handoff, Jet Zero near side. It gets a block, shoves a man, and is only able to pick up 2, but that's the kind of run we're expecting from Jet Zero. He's able to keep hold of the football, has yet to fumble in his career, and he has over 1,000 carries so far in his legacy career.
Yeah, just a certified, just man on the rock, able to get it down no matter what.
7 men on the line. They'll go to 0 again, near side with some blockers. He gets met up at the 11-yard line, but 8 yards in the past 2 plays. They are moving further and further outside the shadow of their own goalposts, and this is a big 3rd down here for the home team.
Yeah, Queen City's been doing pretty well. They're keeping the ball moving effectively, and now it's just 2 yards to go for the first. I'd be interested to see what they can do.
Queen City have not gotten a 1st down since their first drive of the first quarter. Jet Zero through the middle, and it's going to continue. They only pick up a yard, and that'll send out the punt unit. That's their 1, 2, 3, 4th 3 and out in a row.
Yeah, Queen City's offense, when they needed it most, they were not able to come up with, and now Queen City having to punt it out from the shadow of their own goalpost. Fort Worth, in the first half, they were winning it on the ground, and now it seems to be that they're dominating in field position as well.
Long punt. Cade Stevens on the return, gets it inside the 40-yard line to the 39. I want to backtrack a little bit. They didn't pick up a first down to the end the first half of action. But 4 play drives have been the story of the day here for Queen City. Now Fort Worth in excellent field position, looking to capitalize. About halfway through the third quarter. Fort Worth from Queen City's 39, offset eye behind Johnny Reno. This is their second drive of the second half. Reno to throw. He's going to float it over the middle for the Cowboy, Robert Garrett Jr. He picks up 9 yards before he's wrapped up by B.J. Loveless. 8 of 9.
Nice short throw over the middle for Fort Worth. They don't need a lot of yards if points are their goal, so they're just not going to be too flashy. They're not going to be too over the top. Just get the yards you need.
All right, set. Williams gets the call on the far sideline, has a couple of blocks, and will get enough yardage for the first down. Maybe a pickup of about 2 yards on the play, but it's enough to move the chains. Little running back comparison there, Jack, and it's maybe something to take a look back even further as both halfbacks coming into the football game, Jack, are right around the same amount of carries. However, Williams does have a little bit more, and he's putting it on display so far, beating his compatriot Jet Zero in the rushing department. This time he's going backward for about a yard as King Jamal, who's been absolutely on point today with yet another tackle.
Yeah, that play, Tyler, that has been pretty much the exception, not the rule in this ball game. Williams just being able to find the ways. He primarily comes down a lot of it to blocking. He's been having guys that he can follow up the field. Jet Zero just simply hasn't.
Pass over the middle. That's a great pickup of about 17 yards as Robert Garrett Jr. is quickly becoming Johnny Reno's favorite target today.
Well, there's something about tight ends that a lot of people in this league, they fall in love with them, and I tend to agree with those sorts of people, Tyler. Tight end can be great for these sorts of situations where you're just looking to pick up the nice, dirty yards. You don't need a lot, and the tight end is the perfect safety valve for that.
If I'm Mike Dangs, the guy who coined hashtag throw it to the tight end, I'm loving this performance here from Robert Garrett Jr. Handoff. Williams near side has a block from Aaron Alexander, and he's sprung inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line, and Fort Worth are right back to within pay dirt.
Aaron Alexander, the real star of that play. Jason Williams able to get to the outside and able to pick up way more than he possibly bargained for because of that block right there from Aaron Alexander. It's the reason why you're seeing Fort Worth run in the heavy set so much is because they have a reliable core of blockers that they know can go downfield, can turn up, get those blocks, and look, they're right back into the same formation.
Goal line defense versus power eye. Williams is trying to shoulder a man. He's taken down a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage by Nathaniel Diggs. It's a loss of 2.
Yeah, those stretch plays on goal line situations, they can work a lot of the times. However, they can also fail you so many times, and it's gonna send Fort Worth back a few yards.
Formation handoff through the middle goes Williams. He's able to fight his way forward to the 3-yard line, but B.J. Loveless in a post of Corsairs will be able to bring him down and brings up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, Tyler, I would expect now for maybe Fort Worth to put the ball into Reno's hands and expect him to go and loft it over the middle. I don't expect it out of this sort of formation, though.
Back into the power eye. Reno is back to throw. Floats it deep into the end zone, and it's swatted away. Intended for number 82, Jamal Martin, the backup tight end, but no dice as the coverage for Queen City was sublime, and out comes the field goal unit led by Amelia Rose.
That was perfect coverage from Queen City. They knew they didn't have to cover that much of the field. There was only about 14 yards total to work with for Fort Worth, And Queen City able to get the stop. Huge stop for Queen City. And it keeps them hanging in this game.
Snap spot. Rose's kick is up and good, and it's a 16-point advantage for Fort Worth. And we'll be right back. 19-3 your score here from Buffalo, New York. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Back to Buffalo, New York. Fort Worth with a 16-point lead over the hometown Queen City Corsairs. Christopher Ochoa gets the return started from his near his own end zone, has a couple of blocks, and fights his way forward to his own 29-yard line as we go back to SFL HQ, where we get a game break from DC and Mexico City.
Thank you, Tyler. Mike St. Green, Kevin Say is just better.
Yeah, Cam, Kevin Say, the sheriff, as they call him, he's quickly becoming the most explosive player in the SFL. Here he is on another huge touchdown run. DC is up 21-9, headed into halftime.
But the Dragons have two healthy corners remaining. Injuries piling up. Back to Tyler in Buffalo.
Caswell was looking for it all, and he couldn't find it as Joey Schwitt hit Caswell as he was letting it go, and that possibly led to that wayward pass on first down. And Kevin Say leading the charge in DC, and I'm pretty sure both these teams will be looking for that kind of production from their running backs.
Tyler, everyone in the SFL could be looking for the production that DC is getting out of Kevin Say. Kevin Say has just been that explosive running back through these first 4 weeks. And if results currently hold, DC is looking to go up with a great start, possibly the greatest in their entire franchise's history.
Pass near side, it is caught by Doug Spelling, gain of about 6 yards this time around. It brings up third down. Third downs today for Queen City. Well, they're 3 of 9 so far, looking to make it 4 of 10. Pass near side. It hits the upper arms of his intended receiver, James Matthew Jr., the 6-year pro, or 6-season pro, falls incomplete, and yet it's another 3 and out for the Corsairs. Something needs to change on this offense as Chris Komasak better get his guys together on that sideline and try and wake them up, because right now this offense is struggling to even get going.
Yeah, it's not a matter whether or not Queen City can be scoring points right now. In order to score points, you first got to get first downs. You got to be able to move the ball. And Queen City's offense, they've been just completely shut down. And honestly, at this rate, I'm not even sure what could be done to really kick it into as high of a gear as Queen City needs it to be.
So Fort Worth take over from their own 34 after the punt, leading by 16. As if anything's to go by, they really don't have to change up too much. They're running the ball effectively, picking up third downs. However, this is their worst starting field position in quite a while. And that's saying something while they're only on their own 34s. William gets the call up the middle for about 2 yards, and we're hustling back over to DC. Did Kevin say make another play, Cameron Irvine?
You cannot make this up, Tyler. Mike, Patrick Mahomes needs 13 seconds. Kevin Say needs 1.
Yeah, Cam, the last break I said he was probably one of the most explosive players, but he is the most explosive player in the SFL. 1 second left on the clock. Hand off to Kevin Say, off the left tackle. He takes it all the way into the end zone. DC's up at the half now, Cam, 28-9.
Making Jason Williams run look like nothing there, Tyler, but a first down for Fort Worth. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cam and Mike. Jason Williams say, hey, I still got a part to play over here in Queen City, Jack.
Yeah, Jason Williams not wanting to be totally upstaged by Kevin Say. He is still able to be just as effective on the ground game as anyone else on his day here in the SFL, and he's keeping the ball moving with just a little over a minute remaining in the third.
I think I hear a little echo of MVP all the way here in Buffalo, New York, coming from DC as the run. This on the first down goes up for about 3 yards. Jason Williams in on another carry as they continue to find some rhythm on this offense.
Yeah, that's the thing with Fort Worth. What's been working for them right now is just that they don't really have any explosive plays on hand. However, just keeping it in a perfect rhythm. You know, someone needs to make these people into dance instructors with how much rhythm they have.
Swing pass right side is blown up at the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1 as Williams can't get past the trio of Corsairs. Another third down upcoming as they're going to spread the field with 4 wide receivers, 3 in a trips formation off to the right. Queen City playing bump coverage. Reno jump off over the middle and is caught for a first down. The diving attempt on defense is unsuccessful from Ted Haynes. That brings us to the end of the third. So get your 4s up and 86s up. You're watching the SFL presented by 8 p.m. Music on Next Level Sports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Fourth quarter coming your way from upstate New York. Toros with the lead 19-3. Jason Williams on the call, picks up about a yard, and we want to remind you that 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. It's another give to Williams through the middle. He's only able to pick up about 4 yards or 3 yards, and it brings up third down from the Corsairs 29.
Fort Worth still moving the ball at will throughout these first 3 quarters. Meanwhile, for Queen City, they are still struggling. However, for Queen City, this is the one bright spot they've had all day. It's the third down defense.
If they can stop him again. Reno to throw over the middle, looking for Cade Stevens. It's bounced, and it's picked up by Queen City, and Queen City have a little bit of life here in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's the first time I think we've seen it all day today, but Queen City, for the first time since probably their very first drive, has finally woken up. Wasn't giving them a nice cold ice bath on the sidelines or a firm scolding from head coach Chris Komisak.
So now both quarterbacks with interception, neither with a touchdown in this old school tight affair. Now can the Corsairs capitalize? They have yet to have a drive last longer than 4 plays since the beginning of the ballgame. Caswell looks far side. That is caught. Gain of about 3 before he steps out of bounds. That's Chris Komisak, the fullback, in the reception.
Not a bad start for this drive. If you're looking to get a first down, 3 yards 4 times, I mean, that'll do it for you.
Second and 7 now here for Queen City as they look to mount a comeback. One wide receiver near side. That's Deezer Powell, offset eye behind Caswell. Handoff, jet zero far side. Tries to struggle out of that tackle, but is wrapped up effectively by Adam Leach. That brings up third down.
Nice wrap-up tackling. And now for Queen City, if they want their first down in probably about well over half an hour of gameplay, they're going to need a big play here.
Caswell to throw. Steps up. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And they're going to send out the punting unit for their 6th time today, and they've only had 4 first downs. It's a telling stat line, if ever I saw one, of how this game has gone for Queen City's offense.
Yeah, for Queen City, it seems to be that nothing is able to get going for them, and it may be time where if Fort Worth gets another score, even just a field goal on the board, it might be too much for Queen City to really claw out of. Fortunately for them, fortunately for Queen City's offense, their defense has done just enough to keep Queen City in this ball game.
So after the pick, they go for another 3 and out, and Fort Worth is breathing a sigh of relief on that sideline as they're back to work on their own 39-yard line. Jason Williams nearing 100 yards on the ground today. Starts off behind his quarterback in an offset I formation. He'll get the call on first down, wrapped up and thrown to the turf for a loss of 2. And again, we hustle back over to SFL headquarters, and it looks like the Aztecs are finally making a comeback.
At least we don't have to talk about Kevin Say anymore. Mike, Bill Henry steals the show.
Yeah, Cam, actually, after every DC score, Mexico City has answered, but this is the first time they've answered with a touchdown. Bill Henry on the long touchdown pass here from the Hall of Famer Matt Wilson. They draw a little closer, 28-16.
Queen City's defense keeping him in it. The offense is still asleep. Back to Tyler in Buffalo.
Thanks, Cam. Second sack of the ball game for David Tilley. Queen City's defense looks to stop him on a long 3rd and 15 now for the Toros. Reno to throw. Pressure coming. Fires far side. Picked off! And the Corsairs have 2 interceptions in the 4th quarter.
The Queen City defense It's certain to say they have roared into life in the second half, Tyler. 2 picks on back-to-back drives, and that one is just a simple going up on a Tuesday for Ted Haynes, reaching up and beating out the receiver, almost playing a better job at wide receiver than the intended target. In Queen City, they get another chance.
And they finally find a first down, yet to convert on a first on any drive since the end of the first half. Is this the drive that breaks the duck? And off Jet Zero, far side, has a couple of blockers. He shoves off a defender. He fights forward. He's got a first down. It's finally a first down for Queen City.
Well, Tyler, I think that was probably the most momentous call I've ever heard for a first down play. But for Jet Zero, able to pick up the blocks to the outside and keep the wheels turning. You know, an average running back, I think in that sort of situation, would have just fallen down and they would have been left with 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1. Jet Zero, though, keeps it moving forward. And Queen City, they get another shot with a new set of downs.
Your wide receivers handout, Zero through the middle. He is becoming the workhorse late in this football game. Picks up 7 yards before he's dragged down. Jeff Duffy in on the stop, and it brings up 2nd and short here for the Toros as we approach the 7-minute mark left to go here in regulation. Looks like a cover 0 over top. Caswell under center, looks to throw over the middle into coverage, and it's incomplete as the intended target, Hubba Kimbrell, just was unaware that the pass was coming his direction.
Yeah, it seemed to be that there was a little bit of a miscommunication on the throw to Kimbrell. It seems like Kimbrell just wasn't really ready. I think had he been prepared, it would have been a easy catch, but now it's 3rd and 3 for Queen City.
Big third down. They broke the duck of not converting, not getting a first down. Can they break the duck and convert a 3rd down? Caswell in the gun. Back to pass. Looks. Far side. Into coverage, and it's picked up going the other way. 2nd pick of the day for Adam Leach, and he's got it back to his own 31. And the day for the Corsairs goes from bad to worse as Caswell has yet to break 100 yards passing, and he has 2 interceptions on the day.
Just as we thought, Tyler, that Queen City was finally finding something, they tried to go for it all. It's not a bad call at all. It was a similar play to what they were running in the first quarter when they were on their other successful drive as far as, you know, getting first downs is concerned. But unfortunately, it's going the other way. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Fort Worth as they are now back on the field.
2nd pick of the ball game for a Fort Worth defender. Adam Leach is first. Blake Prime had that early pick in the first half. Handoff Williams far side. He's going to pick up about 3 yards to the 34-yard line. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. And get SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica Deem jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. The handoff, Williams far side, spinning off on a tackle and getting close to first down yardage, though he's taken down 2 yards shy by B.J. Lovelace. Third and 2 now for the Toros. Power I formation. 4-3 look from Queen City, looking to stop the dangerous back Williams. Williams near side, met in the backfield nearly immediately, and this defense just won't give up. Nathaniel Diggs with another tackle for loss, and the defense is playing their part. Now can the offense respond?
Yeah, the defense here for Queen City, they have been alive, especially in this 4th quarter. They've been playing like the real high-end defense that we were expecting them to be throughout this early part of the season.
Blocked! It is blocked and recovered by Queen City. The special teams and defense have played fantastically. Can the offense get on the field and make a play?
Well, Tyler, if 1 and 2 are able to work out well, then surely at some point number 3's got to work.
At some point, you think, right?
Yeah, hopefully. And for Queen City, this is by far their best starting field position. Even if they don't even need a first down to get points at this rate, they just need to get positive yardage.
Shotgun set here for the Corsairs. Caswell to throw. Looks far side for Jet Zero. It's tipped and incomplete off the fingertips of the halfback, and it's second down.
That one was a little risky there, Tyler. It seemed to be that they were trying to go for a little bit more than they had bargained for Jet Zero, and it was just bobbled around and could have been picked off.
Might have been off of Jet Zero's forearm. No, indeed, it was off of his fingertips, and just unable to haul that one in. Maybe a little bit too much mustard on that football from AJ Caswell. He gets to make amends here on second down. Under halfway to go here in this fourth quarter. Queen City down by 16. Caswell to throw, dump off over the middle, caught for about 9 yards. That's Hubba Kimbrell's first reception of season 18.
Good job for you, Hubba Kimbrell. Welcome to the party for season 18 of the SFL. And for Queen City, they're able to get the ball moving. Realistically, right now, even if you lose just don't lose too many yards, and you'll be walking away with points.
Identical formation, offset I behind Caswell, handoff Zero, far side, has a block, has two blockers, Jet Zero to the pylon, in, touchdown Corsairs! The offense gets them on the board, and they're only down by a touchdown!
Jet Zero able to get into the outside, there was no one near him. They were all expecting a run up the middle, a simple pound in for one. Well, they got one touchdown as opposed to 1 yard.
Robert Cron hustling all 295 pounds of him to try and make that block on the far side, trying to outrace his own halfback Jet Zero, and now within 10 points. They're going to try and go for two to try and make it a one-score ball game. Caswell to throw, slings it sidearm, back of the end zone, touch! That's good! 2-point conversion for the Corsairs. They're within 8 points of the Fort Worth Toros.
As we were saying all game long, Tyler, it was the defense of Queen City that was keeping them hanging on. You know, the fact that it was only 19-3, and now for Queen City, it looks like they're going to go for the onside.
They're trying to press the advantage and get this onside kick to keep the momentum firmly on their side. 19-11, I believe that might be a scoregami if it holds, as the onside kick is hauled in and going backwards close to the 45-yard line is one of the hands members back to the 45. As we go back to DC, and I almost want to be on Cam's side. Is it Kevin Sayer? Or is it somebody else making a play for DC?
No, Tyler, it's somebody else. This Shabazz Synergy pass, a thing of beauty. DC opening it up.
Yeah, Cam, as we mentioned at halftime, this team is more than Kevin Say. Shabazz Synergy is one of the better plays you ever see. Steps up in the pockets, finds Jeff Banfield again for his second touchdown of the day. DC is in control, 35-16.
And Queen City's still in it. They just need a stop. Unbelievable. Can't turn away, Tyler. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cam and Mike. And that was a thing of beauty thrown on the run over in DC from Synergy and spinning his way out of a tackles with Jason Williams picking up 5 yards here on their first play of the drive. 2nd and 5 upcoming now for the Toros. 8 men in the box for Queen City. The defense has played phenomenally here in the second half. And Jason Williams near side gets a couple of blocks. He shimmy shakes through the defenders and he picks up a yard. And they're inside the 39. If Queen City's defense holds, Fort Worth may have to punt this one away and give it right back to the Corsairs.
Yeah, it seems to be a little interesting that they don't go for something that is at least a little bit downfield oriented. I get they're trying to burn as much time off the clock, give Queen City as little of a chance as possible, but you need to still be moving the ball downfield first and foremost.
High formation. Linebackers show blitz on the near side and through the middle. Handoff. Williams trying to bounce it out. He's taken behind the line. That's a loss of a couple yards, and the Corsairs defense keeps them in the ball game.
What a perfect stop there from Queen City. A perfect 3 and out. And now for Fort Worth, they're going to have to punt this one away. And Queen City A potential game-winning drive. They're sitting on all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning still in hand.
On comes Einhorn to punt it away. His last punt was blocked. He's able to get this one away in plenty of time as it's going to go right to Ochoa, who calls for a fair catch right at the 11-yard line. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues next Saturday, February 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Foes Louisiana and Atlanta clash in a fight for the always crowded at the top East Division. Then Mexico City will face Baltimore out for vengeance after the Vultures scored 10 points in the final 2 minutes of last season's semifinal en route to their second title. Will the Aztecs be able to halt the Vultures' reign of dominance? Visit NLSE to find Next Level Sports in your neck of the woods. It's a deep bomb, far side, caught, first down and more to the 38-yard line, and Queen City is on the march.
They were talking about Woods. He extended it out like a tree, Tyler.
Side caught again. Doug Spelling on the opposite side of the 50 to the 41. They sound something they like over on that far side. Can they keep it up? Caswell, this time over the middle into quadruple coverage, caught inside the 20. Queen City has gone from deep in their own territory to in their red zone.
Tyler, my jaw is on the floor. James Matthew Jr. What sort of hops did he get right there? He was able to beat out 4 defenders to catch that football. And now it's down within the 19 for Queen City.
Oh, we take a breath as we hit the 2-minute warning. Queen City in the red zone trying to take the lead. 19-11 your score. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. What looks to be an exciting conclusion from Buffalo, New York. Here come the Corsairs. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Jack Brown. Strap yourselves in. We're in for a wild ride. Offside, near side. Jet Zero, near side, has a hole. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Queen City. In the last 5 minutes, the Corsairs went from not scoring a touchdown all game to scoring 2 and possibly tying up this football game.
And just like last week, Tyler, the sleeping giant of the Queen City offense has roared to life late in this ball game, and unlike last week, they are perfectly within striking distance. Fort Worth should have heeded it from last week from their fellow Texas team. You gotta lay it on thick with the points if you want to be ahead of Queen City.
Queen City were able to capitalize and convert on a 2-point conversion on their last trip down here. Can they do it again to tie the ball game? Offset eye behind Caswell. Run. Jet Zero. Far side. Shoulders him in. And he's in. We are tied.
Jet Zero, he has put the team on his back, and look at him go. Getting it to the outside. Pick up the ball. Oh, that stiff arm. How did it? Oh. Wow. We're right back at level points.
And just like that, Jet Zero, who made his 40th touchdown a couple of plays ago, made notch number 41 in his career, and it's probably one of his biggest so far, as here come the Toros. Cade Stevens on the return, tries to bust through the middle of the coverage team, and he gets the 26. All tied up, 0-0, minute 51. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts.
There's still all to play for here, Tyler. It's all squared up back at 0 with a minute 51 to go.
They're about 50 yards from effective field goal range for Amelia Rose. They'll start with a run through the middle. Jason Williams picks up 3 to the 29, and they're going to hurry back to the line of scrimmage. And the Corsair defense hold. They've been really good here in the second half. Williams again tries to go through the middle. He's caught as soon as he gets to the line of scrimmage by Brandon Davenport and company. Only a gain of 1. Big third down. Fort Worth call a timeout.
Fort Worth being the first to tap into their 3 timeouts. And they're going to need this first down. They are not in a good position when it comes to the field position battle. And right now, in a game where a field goal is going to most likely decide it, you're going to need all the yards you can get in field position.
Reno to throw. Looks near side. Caught. First down for Robert Garrett Jr. And he steps out of bounds at the 39, and they're moving the chains.
I find it interesting how they're quite eager to get to the outside. I understand you want to stop the clock, but it seems like if you're Fort Worth, you want to leave as little time for Queen City as possible, because Queen City has shown they're willing to eat up about 5 seconds for a touchdown.
4 wide receivers, 3 off to the left, 1 to the right. Jason Williams, excuse me, that's going to be Jay-Z Bacon alone in the backfield. Pass, far side, caught and turning the corner toward the sideline. It'll be a first down at midfield. Charlie Baker, the rookie out of Madison, with the grab as they're getting closer and closer to the field goal range. It's about 16, 17 yards away. Queen City's defense needs to make a stop with a minute 24 left in regulation. Williams on the give, through the middle. He's crunched after picking up 3 yards, and they're back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to hurry up. And up again. Williams through the middle. He's taken down, picks up another 3 yards. They're inching closer. They need more than 3 on this play. Can the defense hold? Third down. Williams through the middle, gets a couple of blocks, picks up first down yardage inside the 40 to 39.
Fort Worth keeping it moving. This is perfect for them. They're milking the clock.
Under 50 seconds. Williams again on the carry. Picks up another couple of yards. On the 36-yard line now. Just a few meters away from field goal range. Williams again. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Goes no further. The 35-yard line. Another big third down. All you need is about a yard to get inside field goal range. Williams hitting the backfield and falls forward to the 33. And Fort Worth called their second timeout. This will be Amelia Rose's longest field goal attempt of her young career.
This is going to be a long one, Tyler. And for Amelia Rose, it's the longest and with by far the most pressure. Fort Worth, if they make this, their chance of winning their first game in this season 18 campaign go way up.
A 50-yard attempt from the left hash. For the rookie out of Ottawa, Amelia Rose. She's been perfect today and so far in her career. Snap spot. Kick is on its way. It is good. Fort Worth retake the lead, 22-19.
Fort Worth now in control of this ball game. They kick it off to Queen City, who, mind you, still has all 3 timeouts in hand. So for Queen City, it's going to be a very unique look on a 17-second drive to possibly win the ball game.
Last drive for Fort Worth, 11 plays, 40 yards, and many of those plays were runs. Here's the kick. Christopher Ochoa on the return. Tries angle to the near side and cuts back to the 26. They are about 50 yards, maybe 45 yards away from Judah Dorgan's range and about 74 from pay dirt, and they have 13 seconds to get there.
13 seconds with all 3 timeouts in hand, Tyler, so they can afford to go with a deeper route over the middle. It's going to be interesting to see what they can come up with. It's not a usual 13-second drive we're going to be seeing.
Caswell the throw. Over the middle, caught. Doug Spelling to the 44, and they take a quick timeout. That play only took 4 seconds.
That is exactly the sort of stuff I was talking about, Tyler. Just those quick stabs over the middle. They take off a little bit of time, and since Queen City has the cushion of those timeouts, they can do them. They do a couple more like that, they'll be easily within Judah Dorgan's range.
20 yards away from it being maybe a 51-yarder for Dorgan. Who will become the hero of this football game? Bunt set far side. 1 wide receiver near side. Caswell under center. Back to pass. Looks deep over the middle. Caught behind the defense. He's gonna go. Deezer Powell. Touchdown Queen City. They were down by 16 entering the 4th quarter. Queen City have won this football game.
And the fans are going insane here at Conpro Field. Deezer Powell, he had it deep over the middle, and he forced the defender to bite to the outside. That was the mistake. That was the lethal dagger, and Queen City walk out with their lives.
Hold everything. There is 1 second. If Cade Stevens can make something happen on the return, we might be not done just yet, but for now, Queen City. Oh, what a story it would be if this scoreline holds. Snap spot kick is up, and they will take a 4-point lead, so a field goal won't do it. It will have to be a return touchdown from Cade Stevens if they want to win this football game. The pressure is all on the legs of Cade Stevens.
Never has a kick return prospect been more tense, Tyler. Let's see what they can do.
Judah Dorgan kicks this one off. He will be outside the end zone, so this is going to be it. Cade Stevens looks near side, gets a couple of blocks, and Queen City take him down. Ball game over. Corsairs come from behind victory here in week 4. Final score 26-22. What a ball game.
As I said a little bit earlier, Tyler, Fort Worth needed to learn the lesson that you need to lay it on thick if you want to stay far away from Queen City. Meanwhile, for Queen City, they can keep that offense going throughout a whole game. Just that constant explosiveness. This league should be terrified whenever they have to play the Corsairs. They were just on fire.
It took them so long to get going. The offense for Queen City didn't show up until late on in that football game, late on in the 4th quarter, in fact. The defense was playing lights out. They forced 2 turnovers. The special teams comes up with a block punt. They willed their offense to make a play. And finally, it comes down to Jet Zero with 2 rushing scores and the late, heartbreaking, if you're Fort Worth, touchdown to Deezer Powell to finalize what has been a miraculous come-from-behind 16-point comeback victory. I am utterly speechless.
Same here, Tyler. This is one of those games that's going to go down in history here in the Simulation Football League. One of the greatest comebacks I think either of us have ever seen. And for Fort Worth, it's not, we talk a lot about what Queen City was able to do. Fort Worth through those first 3 quarters, they also look just as good. Both these teams played a magnificent ball game. I am just so excited to see what these two teams can do throughout the rest of this SFL season.
Special shout out goes to Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green back at SFL headquarters. And a huge shout out goes over to our statisticians for the day, Dwayne Schindler and Shane Kaufman. I've been Tyler Falk, player of the game coming up shortly, and then we're going to shoot you over to the nation's capital for bonus coverage of the DC Dragons and Mexico City Aztecs ball game. But your player of the game here in this one will be Jet Zero with 2 rushing touchdowns on 79 yards. That's going to do it for us here in Buffalo, New York. Hope you enjoyed it. More action coming your way in just a moment from DC. And from all of us here in Buffalo, New York, thanks for stopping by. And until next time, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Over to DC.
There, right in front of Kanye Rockefeller, and able to come away with that ball is Bartley and walk into the end zone for 6 points. This game's not over yet by a long shot, but you gotta imagine they need a lot more points to get back in this ball game.
Cole Varner lining up for the extra point to make it a 22-point advantage. The extra point is up and through, 45-23, as we welcome those of you who are joining us from Next Level Sports that watched the Queen City Corsairs come out with a last-minute victory over the Fort Worth Toros, 26-22, in an absolute thriller. And over here in the nation's capital, DC has just gone absolutely bananas on offense, despite losing 3 stars on defense during the course of this game. And DC is going to take that onside kick from Mexico City at the 40-yard line. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Eric Vincent alongside Nate Hall, Ike McBride, and Aaron Gooden in the stats truck. Nate, we've talked about it ad nauseum to the folks here on Twitch, but go ahead and recap it a little bit for the folks joining us on Next Level Sports.
Well, what more can you say? You see it right there on the stat line. Over 200 yards on the ground by Kevin Say, 3 long touchdown runs by him, showing off his spin moves and juke moves again like he did last week against Lone Star. Just a great game by this young man overall. And there he goes again, baby.
Another big old run by Kevin Say as he's had over 200 yards, another 8-yard run, and even the runs that he doesn't break out for a large touchdown run, he's broken those out time and time again, 3, 4, 5, 8 yards that time.
Yeah, this time 8 yards right up the middle, able to follow his blockers. Thought he might have broken another big one. We've seen it all day long from this guy. But this time able to get tackled after an 8-yard gain. That sounds crazy to say it's a win for the defense, but it's been that kind of game for this Mexico City squad.
I formation for Synergy as he hands it off to Kevin Say, and Say is able to squeak through out across the line to gain to the 29-yard line of Mexico City, and DC is content with just bleeding this clock down.
Yeah, bleeding this clock out, making sure Mexico City doesn't get the ball back in this ball game. We've talked about that too at nauseum through this ball game too, Eric. How even though he gets short runs like that, no matter where he runs, he's still finding those sticks and moving the ball for first down yardage.
Letting the play clock go inside of 5 seconds to go as Synergy hands it off to Say, and he gets maybe a yard or so on the play. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Might see one more play. No, we will not. 2 minutes to go here in the nation's capital as the hometown Dragons have a 22-point advantage over the Mexico City Aztecs. And this is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We are live on Next Level Sports and Twitch currently as DC looking to close this one out, move to 4-0 on the season. Mexico City trying to save face just a little bit, but Synergy has other ideas, but he's going to throw a pick. Churchill was the intended receiver on the play, but that was a great pick by Jermaine Minifield inside the 5.
Yeah, the first mistake we've seen Synergy make all game long, and it happens under 2 minutes left in the ball game, so it shows you what kind of game he's had up to this point. But you said it, Minifield was a great job of stepping out in front of that pass, being able to pick that ball off. The only thing is, now they're inside the 5-yard line on offense, so we may see a safety if they're not able to move this ball forward.
We'll see what comes of it here as Wilson's going to line up under center. 3 wideouts to work with. Jones, the lone setback. Wilson throws it over the middle. That's caught. Close to first down yardage. 9 yards gained to the 12-yard line.
Good play, good reception by Nick Lockett.
Wilson over the middle and caught again. Wow. There was a defender right there.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be picked for sure. Luckily, it was caught, though, by that receiver.
Under 90 to go. Wilson, pressure in his face. Throws it, tipped in the air.
There
and
it is.
Off. DC going to walk away with this one as Darnell Snow secures the 3rd Mexico City interception. And this time off a tip drill from Mike Daggs. I think that one was just a little bit too hot.
Yeah, a little bit too hot coming in from Matt Wilson to Daggs. Snow's made, if you're just joining us, Snow's made a couple of tip plays and backup work from, we've had 3 defenders for DC go down throughout this ball game. So Snow's been doing good work as a backup coming in as a safety with 2 pass deflections up to that point, this time getting away with a pick right there off of Wilson.
Backups in the ball game here. Quarterback is Bruce Leroy as he throws it in the air, and that's incomplete. Looking for a Hail Mary pass in relief. And coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues next Saturday, February 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Foes Louisiana and Atlanta clash in a fight for the always crowded at the top East Division. Then Mexico City will face Baltimore out for vengeance after the Vultures scored 10 points in the final 2 minutes of last season's semifinal en route to their 2nd title. Will the Aztecs be able to halt the Vultures' recent reign of dominance? Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area as we get a short run there as Mexico City burns their first timeout. 1:16 to go here in the ballgame.
Yeah, good job by Dexter Jackson there getting a tackle on Kevin Say. I believe, still in the game on offense, but only a 1-yard gain here to set up a 3rd and long.
Quarterback under center. Leroy takes the snap, going to throw it over the middle, and that's caught. Churchill with the catch for first down yardage out to the Mexico City 27. They'll burn a timeout, but that definitely is going to do it here in the nation's capital.
That's a wrap. Mexico City falls to DC. The DC Dragons are 4-0. Post-game update is coming your way after this commercial break. Back here at SFL Studios, and then Florida and Los Angeles will kick off in about 6 minutes. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to SFL Studios with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. What a finish in Queen City. I'm speechless, Mike. I mean, that's straight out of a movie. They scored 23 points in 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm speechless as well, Cam. But hey, one of us we have to talk at some time about this game. But yeah, it's one of the most incredible finishes I've seen in the SFL since I've been around. One of the best games I'd ever seen was in the semifinals last season between Mexico City and Baltimore. And of course, we're going to see that rematch next week. But this was definitely the most incredible finish in this league that I've seen. As you mentioned, 25 points and pretty much right at less than five minutes or less in this game. And what was the most incredible thing about it, Cam, is that the Queen City offense just seemed non-existent up until that point. I mean, they were getting absolutely nothing done. Jet Zero was struggling all day long. And then all of a sudden, man, Fort Worth gave these guys just a sliver of hope, and they definitely walked through the door and took advantage of it.
Defense got 2 picks. The special teams blocked a punt, started to get the offense to believe, and Queen City, who had 4 first downs in 40 minutes of play, ends up scoring 23 points down the stretch and wins on a walk-off 26-22. Just unbelievable. So now the biggest question is, Mike, what does the next block have in store for us as Florida heads to Los Angeles, Vancouver also taking on Charleston? I feel like this is a pretty big game for LA. They need to get off the mat a little bit after their loss last week to San Diego.
Yeah, Cam, this is a huge game for LA out in the Pacific. As we see Vancouver a part of this block as well. They lead in the Pacific right now. They're 3-0 going up against Charleston. But back to LA and Florida, it's a huge game for them. The Sunshine Rivalry, if you will, Cam. Florida coming down from the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, and of course Los Angeles out there with the Lycans, man. The offense of Los Angeles technically has not been a problem. They've scored 24 points a game. But they have a bit of a problem with the turnover bug. Sully Richardson, second in the league with 11 interceptions. So it's kind of slowed them down a little bit. Chris Lee has been his main targeted wide receiver. Off to a great start. But one huge key, we haven't seen much of that Los Angeles defense that we are accustomed to seeing. They're giving up over 28 points a game, almost 29 points a game. And their work is going to be cut out for them today with Florida. And we saw Kevin Save with the performance he's put on today in the past couple of weeks, and Florida has a great running back of their own, Charlie Bullet Valetsky. He's explosive as well. That's who they like to run their offense through. And LA going to have their work cut out for them and try to keep him under control today.
Yeah, that dynamic Los Angeles secondary really needs to kind of show their teeth again. They've been slumbering, sort of like Queen City's offense has been over the last couple of weeks, and they were outstanding to get that victory. Both of these teams have lost to San Diego, so I don't know. We'll see if we got a good game. Mike Daggs, Matt Wilson on the call as Florida goes all the way west to Los Angeles. Kickoff is coming up next. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll be right back.